Sometimes people slip away without a clue. No warnings, no goodbyes, just silence. These aren't stories of drifters or escapees, but ordinary lives cut short by the unknown. Hints disappear, time moves on, and families are left with endless questions. Each missing person carries a strange weight, an unfinished chapter no one can end. Welcome to a world where absence speaks louder than presence. What was meant to be a fun getaway quickly turned into a desperate search in the mountains of Tenerife. Jay Slater, a 19-year-old from the UK, had flown to the island to attend a music festival. Like many his age, it was a time for enjoying freedom, sun, and new experiences. But after one night out, things took a troubling turn. Jay left the festival with people he had just met and ended up spending the night in a remote area far from his hotel. The next morning, instead of waiting for transport or help, he decided to make the journey back on foot. That choice would set off a series of events no one could have predicted. His last phone call to a friend mentioned that he was lost, tired, and low on water. After that, silence. For days, the landscape was searched intensely. Drones, helicopters, and search teams swept through the steep cliffs and ravines of northern Tenerife. The terrain was difficult, hot, and vast. Friends and family flew in, hoping for any clue. Online forums lit up with theories, and footage from the festival was picked apart for any hint of what might have happened in those final hours. Weeks passed. Then, in late July, authorities confirmed that a body had been found in a deep ravine, difficult to reach and hidden from view. It was Jay. The announcement devastated those who had hoped for a miracle. The discovery raised even more questions. How did he end up so far from any trail? Why hadn't he turned back or sought help earlier? And who were the people he had gone with that night? Although no immediate evidence of foul play was announced, uncertainty continued to hang in the air. Some believed it was simply a case of disorientation in harsh conditions. Others weren't so sure. The place he was found wasn't easily accessible, even for experienced hikers. For those closest to Jay, answers may still feel out of reach. What began as a carefree adventure ended in heartbreak and mystery. His name will now always be linked to the unforgiving mountainside where his journey came to a tragic close. A quiet farming village in rural Ireland was jolted into uncertainty when 53-year-old Michael Gain vanished without a whisper. Known for his routine and soft-spoken nature, Michael lived a simple life, tending his fields and caring for his elderly mother. But one ordinary March evening in 2025, he left the farmhouse, walked down the lane, and was never seen again. The last confirmed sighting came from a blurry CCTV clip, Michael, alone, crossing a narrow country road near his property just before sunset. He wasn't carrying a phone. He didn't have a bag. His truck was still parked at home. There was no sign of a struggle, no indication of distress. Just a man calmly walking into nothingness. Searches launched immediately. Neighbors, rescue dogs, drones. Hundreds combed the nearby bogs, woodlands, and ditches. Authorities followed over 230 reported leads. Some claimed he was spotted miles away. Others believed he'd simply walked off to start a new life. But none of it added up. Michael had no known enemies, no debts, and no personal struggles that anyone could trace. His bank account remained untouched. His routine, frozen in time. Speculation spiraled. Some pointed to the shadowy backroads of Ireland's rural underbelly, whispering about land feuds or dark secrets buried deep in family histories. Others leaned toward something accidental. Perhaps he fell into a concealed shaft or sinkhole that swallowed all trace. But every theory hit a wall. No blood, no belongings, not a single credible clue. Months have passed, and the fields around Michael's home have grown quiet. His family clings to hope, but the silence speaks louder with each day. What begins as confusion grows into something darker, an ache that never resolves. In a world where data, cameras, and networks track our every step, Michael Gain simply disappeared, vanished in full view, leaving behind only questions. The most unsettling part? that a man so rooted in one place could be gone in an instant, with no sign of where, how, or why. On a quiet February morning in Ballarat, Australia, 51-year-old Samantha Murphy laced up her shoes and stepped out for a routine jog, something she'd done countless times before. It was a peaceful Sunday. She said goodbye to her family and left around 7 a.m. She never came back. When she failed to return, her family grew uneasy. Calls went unanswered. Hours passed. By afternoon, worry turned to fear. Police were notified, and a large-scale search was launched almost immediately. Her phone last pinged near the Mount Clear area, close to dense bushland, but after that, the signal vanished, just like her. Search crews combed through acres of rugged terrain, using dogs, drones, thermal imaging. Volunteers walked shoulder to shoulder, hoping for even a shred of evidence, shoes, clothing, anything. But Samantha had seemingly vanished into thin air. No blood, no signs of a struggle, not even footprints that led somewhere. What made the case even more troubling was how ordinary it all seemed. No known threats, no enemies, a well-liked local, mother of 3, with no reason to vanish. Theories emerged. Some whispered about a targeted abduction. Others feared an opportunistic predator. Police confirmed they were treating it as suspicious, but without a body or solid clue, speculation filled the silence. Weeks passed, then months. At one point, a man was arrested in connection with her case, but no body was ever located. Despite charges, without Samantha's remains, the full truth remained locked away. Her family held on, caught between hope and heartbreak, unable to grieve properly, unable to find peace. The trail that Sunday morning was familiar to her. She'd run it before. But something happened along that route, something no one saw, something no one heard. A woman disappeared in broad daylight in suburban Australia, and to this day, no one knows how or where. Samantha Murphy's case is a haunting chapter in the world of unexplained vanishings, a routine run turned into a permanent absence, a person known and loved by many, gone without a trace. And the most agonizing part? The not knowing.